It's me, teacher Kristy M. And so some of you already know that I am a trainer with 5-1 Talk. So I do the new teacher training. And a common question that we have had amongst all of our new teachers, as well as people when I refer them to 5-1 Talk, are, like, what do the lessons look like? What do we do? So in the new teacher training, we do look at some sample lessons, but it is focused on young learners. And at 5-1 Talk, 80% of their clientele is young learners between the ages of 2 and 14. But we still have 20% that are over the age of 14. So you will get those who are in high school, college, and in the workforce. So I just randomly selected a bunch of the lessons. So I'm just going to show you how diverse your day could look. So all these lessons, these were pulled off of a few different days that I taught, but they're just all random sample lessons. So, there is a lot of math lessons because, and I explained this in new teacher training, in China their exams, these big exams that they write at the end of every year, are comprised of English, Chinese, and math. So a lot of our middle school students do choose, and primary students do choose lessons, double whammy for them. They're learning English and they're learning math. So math lessons are pretty common. So I'm just kind of going to scroll through so you guys can get an of what some of these lessons kind of look like. So you guys will just go through, read this. You always have the teacher's copy. It tells you the time for the page, what to do, what questions to ask, as well as what the answers are. I'm just going to go through and show you guys a bunch of different classes. After your math class, you might teach something that looks like this. This is like Planet Earth. This is grade 4. This is G4. These are just the words that you'll choose, and this is how they teach that lesson. I know I'm not giving you guys enough time more math, to read any of this stuff. It's just so you're kind of familiar with what some of the lessons will look like. And see how they're all kind of the same in terms of having, the time, gives an example, what you say, possible answer for the student. There are a lot of math lessons. This one would be a lesson for adults. Talking about city life, and I can tell this person is advanced because they're learning almost like American slang, like weigh one's options, referring to the big city, bear the expense of something. So everything has instructions. A lot of the adult lessons do a lot of role playing and also conversation pieces. And I always tell everyone, feel free to add things to your lessons, like videos, pictures, your own discussions, different things like that. Another adult lesson here. So the student chose something, how to deal with Q&A sessions at the end of a presentation. So it just gives you lots of questions and ideas to talk to the student about. Another one, Unit 15, Culture Shock. Your warm-up, another conversation. This is checking to see if they understand what these words mean. Fill in the blanks, discussions, readings at the end. This is another adult lesson. So job interview questions. So just practice with your students how to naturally answer these. And what I also tell all of my new teachers as well is you have to remember the main purpose of them taking these lessons are to practice speaking English, especially with American Academy teachers. They're paying 4 times the price as the other lessons because they want that exposure to that American flat accent. So don't focus as much on them understanding these concepts as getting them to speak and have conversations with you. There's tons, and then, now going back to kid lessons, vocabulary, the red apple is big. Learning tall, taller, tallest, much more, most, good, better, best. So as you can see, the lessons are just all over the place. Beard of tomorrow. This is a lesson about a competition, a beard competition. So like it's just anything. And the students choose these lessons, based on their interests. So this one, the student probably cares about Sherlock Holmes. This is all a lesson about who Sherlock Holmes was, and as well as some of the mystery novels. They always have like little games. Usually this would have been a kid's lesson. Phonics lessons, this is the hardest to teach. Usually our students brand new to English. And there's not a lot of materials on those ones. So I'm just letting you guys, again, see about these. It gives you questions about creating your own planet. So it's really trying to encourage, critical thinking amongst your students. These lessons are a little bit harder. There's usually a reading paragraph, and it gives words and the translation in Chinese to them. Summary writing, ask these questions. You're just encouraging your students to speak and answer them. These usually have vocabulary questions, grammar questions, comprehension questions. There's lots of stuff to pull from these pages. I don't think I've ever finished this with any of my students. Usually the reading part of these kinds of lessons takes a while. This one's pretty short. But you really want to just make sure, they're understanding the story and what's happening. Another kids one, they're learning police terms and about a thief and, police cars, fun things like that. There are a lot of pop culture lessons. So this one, is about Breaking Bad. We discuss some of the words. You read kind of a scene, discuss the synopsis of the episode, what's happening, what some things, check their comprehension. And usually if they choose those lessons, it's because they've watched those shows and they're interesting to them. So, just talk about the show as well. This one, another adult lesson, situations revealed. So this just talks about awkward situations. Reading faux pas. There's a lot of materials in here to get through. This one would be a high schooler or someone in college. So it's an IELTS lesson. So we have IELTS and TESOL lessons. This is when the student is preparing to take an exam to study abroad. So for here, usually they want help with their speaking, how to answer those questions. Or, they might want to be learning the words, find out what they want to practice. At this age, they'll tell you what their goals are and what they want out of the lesson. Another kid lesson, speaking, so they're learning words. So all the lessons, you can see, they're all so different. So it's nice having a variety. Another kid lesson, taking care of the dog. Definitely low level here. You can see junior, level 2, unit 1, lesson 5. Also, all your lessons tell you what level they are and give you an idea of their age. Ooh, Gossip Girl. I loved teaching this one. I'm a big fan of this show. So we kind of looked at that one actually already. This one here, Obama came to China. Just discussing, I suppose, current events. And this is just the last one I randomly chose. Talking about deserts, animals that live in the deserts. Again, this one's level 4 units. It always gives you prompts of questions to ask the student and how to teach it, etc. So just look through, and I hope you found, this kind of helpful, just kind of trying to show you guys that when you're teaching 5-1 Talk lessons, you'll get a wide range of lessons. Like you might teach a 4-year-old, 30-year-old, 5-year-old, 50-year-old, 10-year-old, 13-year-old, 2-year-old. Like that's kind of what your day will look like, and you'll, come across all those kinds of lessons. So I hope you guys found that helpful. Good luck teaching.